Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin ashraf mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We have quite a lot of things to go through today. Inshallah, I will try to finish it. But if we can't finish it, then inshallah we'll continue the week after next, yeah? So a special dua because it's quite a heavy topic. اللهم ارزقني فهم نبينا حفظ المرسلين والإلهام الملائكة المقربين يا فتاه يا عليم افتقر بفضل العارفين اللهم إني أستودعك ما علمتني فادر إلي عند حاجاتي إليه ولا تنسني يا رب العالمين. أما بعد. Okay, today we're going to go through how to do grammatical analysis for fi'ils. And we know we have more than one form of fi'il, yeah? We have the past tense, we have the present tense, and we have the command, yeah? So we'll try and do this tonight, inshallah. We did this the last time. We have covered the isms altogether, yeah? We've done this. So tonight we're going to do fi'il, and inshallah we will move towards the half later on. We saw that we had these signs of Irab, yes, in order to show what sort of status that the fi'il or the isim is in. Yeah, so this alamat is applicable to both fi'ils and isims. So we have dhamma for rafa, fatha for nasab, kasra for jar, and of course sukun for jazm. Now this is the original signs. They are not always this. Okay, so we see things like this as well. Waw, alif, nun, ya, fatha, and kasra. And we said fatha is in the case of partly flexible. Yeah, when we don't have jar, we don't have kasra for partly flexible isims. We saw that. And then kasra here is in the case of atun, atin, atin. Yes, when your nasab is also kasra. Yeah, so this is what we mean by signs that are not the original signs, different from what they're supposed they do different from what they are when we talk about mufrad is mufrad words, single words, yeah, words on their own. Okay, so there are 7 categories where the signs are not the original sign. 7 categories of words. Yes, we said that there were the 5 special isms during the dual isms. Yes, your sound masculine plural isms, your sound feminine plural isms, and your mamnu min al-sarf, which is basically the partly flexible words. Yes. Now today we're going to look at af'ala hamsa, yes, and this one, fi'l mudari'un mu'tal akhir, meaning that you have the weak letters at the end of the fi'l mudari. Okay, so when we talk about fi'ils, it's usual to start off with your past tense because this is simpler. I think you recognize this table. Yes, you recognize this table. We're going to look at the Irab of each and every one of them. Yes, we're going to do the Irab of each and every one of them. And as you can see, we normally look at it as huwa nasara, yeah, huma nasara, hum nasaru. And we're looking at doers who are singular in pairs and more than 2, yeah, plurals, yes. So this is what we mean here. Okay. What sort of files do we have? The domir mustatirun. We saw this in our Irab. Yes, and we have the attached files, the domirun mutasilun. Yeah. So here we are, huwa and here. And with domirun mutasilun, we have 2 kinds, alif and waw. First one, ta fa'il. Yes, these. And then we have nun niswa, yeah, which is basically this and this, but I couldn't put the pink circle there, yeah. Then we have nun al-fa'ilin. Fa'ilin, here's your jama, yes. That's a group of people, which is this nun. Yeah. And of course, ta'nis, which is not a fa'il actually. Yeah, it's not a doer. It's not a doer. It's just a sign for feminine. Yeah, it's just a sign for feminine. So any questions on this slide? Is it okay? If there's no questions, I'll move on to the next slide. You need to remember this, yes, because there is a difference between the mudari and the madi. So I couldn't make it any bigger. Can you see? Can you see it on your PC at least? What I've written here? Is it clear? Yeah. So let's have a look at the first box here. We'll look at Nasara. Nasara here, we don't have a domain that can be seen. Yeah, there is nothing that represents Huwa here. It's just Nasara, the original root letters there. Yeah. So the fa'il here is what we term as domain mustatir. It's hidden and we estimate it to be Huwa. Yes, we estimate it to be Huwa. So this is Nasara. So as we say with fi'ils, you need to describe the fi'il, the Irab of the fi'il first, and then you need to describe the fa'il. It goes in combination. This is where it differs with your isims. Yeah? Isims, you don't have a fa'il. But with fi'ils, you do have a fa'il, and you have to describe both. The fi'il madi, in this case, and the fa'il itself. With all fi'il madins, we know this is mabni, meaning that you don't have changes at the ends. Yeah, we don't have changes at the ends. So this is why it's called mabni. It's not like our isims, remember, where we had changes at the ends as we change the status. It goes from and in, for example. In this case, no. It's always nasara, nasara, nasara. Nasa with a bit of change because of the wow, yes, but it was originally Nasara and we added wow and alif, and because of the wow, that fatha there becomes a dhamma. Yes, because of the we want to make the sound smooth, it becomes Nasaru. Yeah, we don't say Nasaru, we can't really pronounce Nasarau, something like that. So the Arabs made it smooth and becomes Nasaru. But the fi'il itself was, and throughout, stays as nasara, the original form. Yeah. So that's the difference between this and the isims we saw before. And the fi'ils that's going to come after this, the mudariks. Yeah. So here, as I said, the ta here is not the fa'il. Yes, it's ta'nis. So it says something like fi'il madin mabniyun ala al-fat. Why ala al-fat? Because the end sign is fatha. It's fatha here, it's fatha there. It only changes for this one. Yes, so this one becomes ala dam. Yeah, ala dam. And changes for this one because we have the nun niswa attached to it. It becomes mabni ala sukun. Yeah. And here also, nasaratum, it becomes a sukun. Yeah? So we have basically three types of mabni ala something. First is al-fat. The next one is al-dam. The third one is sukun. Do you see anything else here? No? Okay, it's sukun, sukun, sukun. And fat, 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 sukun, and dhamma. Okay, so this is the description of the fi'il with the fa'il. Fa'il here, because it's mustatir, and we only have mustatir for two, huwa and here, in the case of madi. Yeah, and then the rest are the letters that I showed in the table before. Yeah, which is basically alif for the dual. Yeah, waw for your plurals, yes, and the ladies also have their own, yeah, which is the noon. And here we have something a little bit different. Nasartum, yeah, nasartum. Here the ta is your fa'il, And this one is masculine, so you don't have a nun niswa. The nun niswa comes on the next page here. Yeah, here. This is the nun niswa. We have two options here. Here we call the domir as domir muttasilun mabni ala dam. Yeah, the ta is looked upon as your fa'il. Yeah, not the nun niswa. Here is na domir muttasil. This is the na fa'ilin. We can write this in two ways. We can just say that the fi'il madi is mabni ala sukun and it's attached to a domir that is rafa, and this domir that is rafa has a harakah on it. This is basically what I mean. It has harakah on it. Yeah, because the dhamma is the harakah, so that to the dhamma is your what it is attached to. Yeah, to the two here. Now here, the second option in green, the first option is in blue, the second option to write the Irab is in green. Yeah, we can just say that it is attached to ta fa'il, like the one that I showed you in the chart. Yeah, so we have two options here. We can either use this, which we can use throughout. Same thing we are saying. This makes it easy, although it's like a mouthful of words. Bidami raf'in mutaharik, like a lot of words, but we can use the same word for everyone. Yeah. Whereas in the green option, it changes. It will be like ta fa'il here. Yeah. But it will be, yes. Yes, Brother Hadim? Are you saying something? Because I can't hear you.
Your voice cut off, or maybe I'm the only one.
Oh, my voice cut off. It's gone already. Is it how bit now? How is it now? Can you hear me now? I put something in the chat. You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Girls, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sister Nazma, you all right? I'm assuming Brother Hazim can hear me now as well. Yeah. Where did you lose me? Where was I? Where I was saying when you did not hear me? Which part?
Two options.
The two options. Okay. So the two options were, I've given the first option in blue, the second option in green. Yeah. And like I said, the easier option, yes, is just to put what you see here, bidomir raf'in, raf'i mutaharik. Yes, this is the easier option for the ones with the sukuns. Yeah, the ones with the fatha and dam, they have a different irab. But with the one with the sukuns, you can use this one, litisalihi bidami arafi mutaharik. Yeah, so you can do this. Sukun, you have this option. Yeah, all the ones with the sukun. The second option for the ones in the sukun, yes, is to actually say what it is attached to specifically. So in this case, it would be ta ta'nis. Oh, sorry, ta ta'nis. Yeah, ta ta'nis, and here nun niswah. Yeah, for example, here is ta fa'il, and this is ta fa'il. This is also ta fa'il. Yeah. Here is ta. Yes, ta fa'il, ta fa'il. Tafa'il. Yes, all the tafa'ils except for this one. Now this is nun fa'ilin. So two options for the ones that end with mabni ala sukun here in this case. You can say that that it is attached to the actual name for the fa'il, or just say that it's a domain that is in rafa status and it has harakah on it. Yeah, so that's for fi'il madi. Okay. Now we have special cases in fi'il madi when we have weak letter endings, because it's a bit different. For example, here the ending is an alif. This is your alif maksura. Yes, this is your short alif, if you want to call it that. Yeah, not the standing alif, which is tall. Yes, so this is your short alif. We call it sa'a. Yeah. So in this case, it means Muhammad strove for excellence. Yes, Muhammad strove for excellence. So this would be Muhammadun. Yeah, this is your fa'il. Because of the alif, remember the thing with alifs is that you can't see what's on it. You can't see the sign on it. Yeah. So we're saying that in this case, it is mabni ala fat. Yes, but it's muqaddar. We can't see it. And it's prevented from being seen. Yes, it's prevented from being seen. And ta'azzud, because it's impossible to see because of the alif. Yeah. So with the ya ending, however, with the ya ending, in this case, when we look at something that is plural, yes, something's happened here. What happened to the ya? Because the original word, the root letters for the original word, that is to walk, yeah, is actually mim, shin, and ya. So that ya has disappeared here. And why has it disappeared? For the same reason that we have nasaru. Yes, for smoothness. Okay. So in this case, we say the fi'il madin is mabni ala dam, but the dam you can't see. Yeah. Ala ya al mahzufah, because the ya has been dropped. This was the original thing. Remember we said that the original word, which is mashawa, masha, yeah, masha, if this had been fi'il madin, yeah, is kept. Yeah, is kept, just like nasara. Nasara is always there. Nasara, nasara, nasaru. The nasara is always there actually, but because of the waw alif, that fatha on the last word or the last root letter has made itself u, so that it is smooth. But in this case, this fatha here, and because this is a weak letter, and this is why we call it a weak letter, because weak letters, you either convert it to something else, yes, either a hamza or an alif, usually, or you can drop it. So in this case, they dropped it because they can't drop the waw. They can't drop the waw because the waw is the fa'il. So you cannot drop the waw. But you can drop the ya because it is a weak letter. So that's why it became mashaw. Yeah? Not mashawu. Mashawu is a bit difficult on the tongue. Yeah? So that's why they said, no, we just say mashaw. Yeah? So here, fi'il madi mabli ala dam, ala ya mahzufa. Yeah? So this is something that you cannot see. Here, wow, in this case, another word, da'aw. Now, what happened to da'aw here? They called for excellence. Yeah, they called for excellence. So in this case, it is also ala dam, but this time adam ala waw mahzufa. Yeah, because this waw has disappeared. It's a weak letter. It's not a fa'il, so that's why it got dropped. For the simple reason, it's easier to pronounce this way. We'll say da'aw, not da'awu. Yeah, it just doesn't. You when you say da'awu, you're not sure whether it is a plural or what. So that's why they just dropped this one and they stuck to just the fa'il. You just stuck to the fa'il. Yeah. So this is dam, and this is fatha. Okay. Now we go to mudari. Mudari, we have many cases because we have mudari marfu, we have mudari mansub, we have mudari majzum. Yeah. In terms of the fi'il though, yeah, we have the mustatirun. We have 5 mustatirs. For madi just now we only had 2. But for mudari we have 5. And what are these 5? Huwa hiya, the same as madi. And we also have anta, ana, and nahnu. Yeah. So huwa hiya, anta, ana, and nahnu. So you don't have anything that represents the ana and nahnu, or the anta, or the huwa or hiya in the word itself. Yeah, you don't have that. So now, here's the fa'il, and where are they? I think you know by now. Yeah. So here's your alif isnain. Alif
Is
isnain means, yes. You lost me again.
the five the five
Mustatir.
uh, yeah.
Mm.
Is this the Khamsa? Fa'ilu Khamsa? Is it? So,
No,
oh no.
this is not the hamzah because this is not a af'al hamzah. The hamzah is the one that is ani, una, and ina. Yeah.
And then
Uh,
you said that there's no the fa'il is not represented in the fi'il.
yes,
Uh,
because we're looking at the green one. Tansuru, ansuru, nansuru. So we don't see anta in here. We don't see ana in here. We don't see nahnu in here. Yeah, because this nun is part of the root letter. Yeah. And this nun is your mudara'ah letter. It's not your fa'il. Mudara'ah letter is your Anita. I don't know. What did Ustad Numan call it for you all? I think there's a variation with that. No, the alif, nun, ya, ta, the one that comes in front here. Yeah. These
yeah.
are the mudara'ah letter. Yeah. So that means there's no nahnu. You don't see a nahnu here. Whereas in this case, the dual, the huma, antuma, is represented by this alif. And then the plural is represented by this waw. Yeah. So your af'ala hamsa, the 5, has representation, which is alif, waw, and ya. And what are the 5? I'll count for you. Yansuruna, 1. Yeah. Then this is 2. And this is 3 because this is yansurani. But this is tansurani, tansurani, tansurani. So this is 1, 2, 3, all of this the same. 4, and then 5. So that's why you call it af'al hamsa. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. So this ya is mukhatab because it's the ya that you're speaking to. You. We're saying you. Okay. If it is muhatib, then it's the one who's speaking, which is the same as ya mutakalim, the person who's speaking. But this is muhatab. So you help, yeah? Not I help. Okay. Nun niswa, we only have these 2. Nun niswa. And so this is why the ladies are left untouched. Yes, I think I've said this before. When you have majzoom or mansub, you don't drop the nun. Not like in this case. This case, you can drop the nun. Yeah? So this nun is more like a sign, an alamah. Whereas this nun is a doer, so you cannot drop it. Just like I said, why we couldn't drop the this one, yeah. Where are we? The special case for Madi. Why we couldn't drop this waw? Yeah, because they are fa'il, so we cannot drop them. So the same case with the ladies, we can't drop this nun when we want to make it light or lightest, because this is your fa'il. So that's why it remains the same in the 3 cases. No change. All right. So this is your normal chart. This one is your nun niswa. Okay. So we look at the marfu chart. we look at the marfu chart, there is nothing before the fi'il to make it light or lightest. There's no half before the fi'il to make it light or lightest. So in our Irab, there is no mention of this half that makes it light or lightest, okay? Because there's nothing there. So all we need to say is that this fi'il mudari marfu wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma. Enough, actually. This is just extra. It's just saying that it is visible at the end. Yeah, that's all. And the fa'il is mustatir jawazan, yeah, because it can leave the word so that there be you can have an outside doer. Yeah. So takdiruhu huwa. Here we are saying yansurani. Yeah. Remember, we have to say that it is marfu. Why do we say it's marfu? Because there is the noon. In this case, the noon is the sign of rafa. Because remember, we drop it when we want it to make it light or majzoom. Okay? And this alif is just the sign of it being dual. All right? And it is also the fa'il. So alif is 9, is damir, muttasil, mabniyun ala as-sukun fi mahali rafa fa'il. This is what we have been doing for the first 18 ayahs in Surah Yasin. Yeah? So in this case, yansuruna, still rafa. Why? Because there is the presence of the nun, subutu nun. And this is in the place of niyabatan an dhamma, the original sign. Yeah? Any questions there? And this is when we say, why is it not the original sign? Because it's one of the 5 special fi'ils. Oh, sorry, on those af'ala hamsa. Yeah. So this is giving the reason why. So when it deviates from the original sign, we have to let the people know why. So in this case, because it is af'ala hamsa. Then we have to, of course, describe the fa'il. And here it is alif, the dual alif. Here is waw jama'ah, which is the plural waw. And it's still dhamir muttasil mabniun ala as-sukun fi mahali rafa fa'il. Why as-sukun? Because there is a sukun above the waw. There is a sukun above the alif. Yeah. So now here, any questions here? It's the same thing, except that in this case, your nun niswah is your fa'il, no longer your waw jama'ah. Yeah. Yansurna. And we continue with anta, antuma, antum. Here is waw jama'ah still, yeah, the fa'il. Here it's still nun niswah, yeah, tansurna. Easier to understand here because I think in the Madi, if you recall, in the Madi, we had this, right? We had like a double, we have a shadda here. Whereas in your Mudari, you don't. It's always noon. Yeah. So easier to understand it to be the fa'il. Whereas in the Madi case just now, the fa'il was the ta, not the nun with the shadda. Yeah. So that's the difference for these two verbs. Okay, let's go back to here. Oh, so this is your marfu chart. Everything is normal, nothing light, nothing lightest. Now we go to the mansub chart. Yes. Here I have chosen the half lan. Yeah, this is standard. You see this in most of the Irab books. When they talk about making a mudaric light, they will use lan. Yeah, when they talk about the mudaric being lightest, they use lam. Yeah, and the translation becomes this: he will not help. Yeah, because lan, remember, it pushes the tense of the verb to the future. Yeah, something that has not been done. He will not help. Yeah, huwa lan yansura. And you know this is what happens when you make it light for this column, the singular column. The dhamma becomes a fatha. Yeah. Whereas for the dual, you drop the noon. So this was yansurani. Now you drop the noon. Lan yansaruna. You drop the noon. But you have this alif here. Why do we have this alif here? This alif is what we call alif farika. And the purpose of this alif is to indicate that this waw is not a root letter. Okay, this waw is not a root letter, but the fa'il. Okay, the Arabs think of everything. So to indicate that this is not a root letter and it's a fa'il, they protect it with this ra, this alif, yeah, farika, or separate it with this alif. Farika means to separate. Okay, so here again, fi'il madhi mudhari mansub. Why is it mansub? Because of lan, and the sign is fatha. Here the sign is we drop the noon, and it's in the place of fatha, yeah, niyabatan al fatha. And why? Again, in this case, because they are from the af'ala al-khamsa. So this goes here, and the fa'il is still the same, like you would do for the previous chart that we saw, the marfu chart. Is the same fa'il. The fa'il does not change, yes, because the dual is still the same. So same, except that for the fi'il itself is become mansub, yeah, because of lan. This one, no change, remember, because it is a group of ladies. Now, anta, antuma, antum, basically the same, just that your fa'il now is different. For this one, this is the same, this is the same, yeah. This is the same. This is also the same. Here is a bit different, yeah, because we've dropped the noon here, and you see the ya mukhattabah is there, different from your madi. Yeah, madi is not there. What is the fa'il for the madi? Can you remember? Ralin, Sister Ralin? Tansurina.
Tansura.
Oh no, for the madi. What's the madi for this? Anti.
Oh, Nasarat. No, Nasarti.
So what would the fa'il be? How would you describe it here?
Mine would be the would it be the and what we call that, the ta'nis?
Okay, let's. Ta ta'nis is only the sign of feminine. It's not a fa'il. So let's go back to your madi. We were looking at anti. Yeah. Right. So you said nasarti. Yeah, that's right. It's just the ta itself. But it's not ta ta'nis. Ta ta'nis is the sign of feminine. This ta is the fa'il. Yeah. Because it's the same for the first person, which can be for both male and female. So it's still ta. And it was definitely, the same ta for the guy as well, for the masculine. Yeah?
So here we have to define the whether
As
it's
fa'il.
mabni ala dhamma, mabni ala fatha, something like that.
This one is mabni ala fat because it's ta, yes.
Hmm.
Whereas this one is mabni ala kasra because it's t. And this one is mabni ala dom because it's tu. Yeah. Then you can tell which is anta, anti, and ana.
So ta'nis is only used for Nasarat. Only
Yes, only for nasarat, and it's not the fa'il. It's just the sign of feminine. Yeah, you will say this together with the fi'il. It's more for the fi'il rather than the fa'il.
So do we have to mention the techniques in every feminine version of?
Yes. With the Madi version of Islah, Nasarat, we can say that. Okay. Yeah. We just mentioned that the ta is ta'nis, or ta is the alamatu ta'nis. You can see. You can also have this one. This saying here.
And then we describe
The fa'il. The fa'il. Yeah. So that is something. Sometimes we forget. Done that before. So I'm not surprised that if you would you do it as well. So I know first time around this is going to be a bit confusing. Okay, it will take some time, but you'll get there, inshallah. So this is lan, which makes it light. Now we go to lightest. Yeah, lightest. So now in this case, he did not help. Yeah, lam yansur, lam. This particular lam has made the present tense past tense. Yeah, he did not help. So here again, we need to tell why is majzum and what's the sign. Yeah, so the sign is sukun. The original sign of majzum is sukun. Yes, you can see here sukun. Sukun. In this case, it's never sukun. This one is also a drop already. Yeah, and this one is sukun. This one is sukun, but this is a drop because it's part of the 5 of al-hamsa. Okay. Basically the same. The only thing that is different is here it says majzum, and this is not lan, this is lam. Yeah, but the sign is basically the same, except for this. Here instead of fatha, it's sukun. It's a sukun. Here is sukun. Here's drop. Here is sukun. Lam ansur. Yeah. Lam tansur. This is also sukun. Not that difficult. Yeah. Just dropping the noon, dropping the noon. And then the fa'il will be the same for all the 3 cases. Yes. All the 3 cases the same. From marfu, mansub to majzum. Okay. I'm going to leave this mudari. We're going to the special cases. Any questions here? Anything here? I will share this and then you can have a look. And then if you do have any questions, you can of course ask me later, inshallah. Okay, weak letters again. Different from your Madi. In a way, yeah. Not altogether. Cool. So this is weak ending alif. Yarda, yarda, yarda. Okay, yarda, yarda, yarda. So this is Dhamma when it's marfu. Original sign was Dhamma, right? So we are saying when it is muqaddar, it says that it's like there is the Dhamma there. But because of the alif, it's being masked. Yeah, it's being covered. So we are not saying that it's different from when we say, for example, when we say niabatan an. This is marfu, but with the sign of the nun there, right? And then we say niabatan an ad-dhamma. That means there is a nun that took over the place of the dhamma, basically. Okay, there is a nun that took over the place of the dhamma. But in this case, it's not that not that the alif has taken over the dhamma. Yeah, we're not saying that. We're saying that the dhamma is there, but because of the alif, you can't see it. Yeah? So that's the difference between the two, the niabatan an and the muqaddara. Muqaddara, the original sign is still there, but you can't see it for various reasons. Okay, so now it's muqaddara. Why? Because of the the alif. And this alif is preventing it, manaa, preventing it from being seen. And it is something that is impossible to see. Ta'azzur. Yeah, ta'azzur is impossible because of the alif. Just like we saw for the madi. Same reasoning. Yeah. Now here mansub bilan nasbihi fathah muqaddarah. Yeah, because the original sign of nasab is fathah. It is there, but we can't see it because of the alif. So we say that. Yeah, muqaddara ala al-alif. Now in this case, simpler. This one, fi'il mudari majzoom bil-lam, and the sign is the dropping of the nun. Yeah, the dropping of the nun, sorry. The dropping of the ya. Hey. Yarda, lam yarda. Because we're looking at this one, yeah? We're not looking at the dual or the plural. Yeah? So lam yarda, we're talking about Allah. The word lafzu jalallah. Yeah? So yarda, 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 and you drop that ya to make it like hazahab illah. Okay? Not the noon because not dual, not plural. Now the special case here with ya. We saw alif, we saw, oh wait, no, this is the second case, not yet the third case. Yamshi. This is our, that word again, mim shin ya. Yeah. Here also muqaddara, dhamma. Here we can see, we can actually put a fathah on the ya. So happily is the normal mansub. Yeah, walamatun dasbihi al fathah, which you can see. And in this case, it's the dropping of the half ilah again. Yeah. Majzum bilam, you drop the half ilah to make it majzum. Okay. Then finally the waw, same thing. Yadu'u muqaddara. Yadu'ua can see zahira. And lightest, you just drop the waw, the half ilah itself. Yeah, these are waws, yas, and alif. That is part of the word. Okay, part of the word. Okay. Now we look at fi'il mudari mabni. Well, how's that? How can a mudari be non-flexible? There are two reasons. Halatain in two conditions. Yes, two conditions. One, when it's attached to nun niswa, we saw that. That's why I said it looks the same for all the three cases. Remember, what is mabni? When the word looks the same in all three cases. So we saw the ones for the ladies look the same in all three cases. Yeah, so that's why we say it's mabni. This is an example. Yeah, that means the second case is when it is attached to nun tawkid. Yeah, the hafifah, which is the nun with a sukun on top, the sakilah, the nun with a shadda. Yeah, this is just for emphasis, and this is how you emphasize a fi'il mudari, by attaching the nun tawkid. Okay, again, same word being used here. This is sakilah because it has shadda. This is hafifa because it has sakina, just the sukun on top. And the note here is what I've been saying all this while. When you go, when a word is mabni, we don't say majzum, we don't say mansub, yeah, we don't say marfu. We say fi mahali jazm, fi mahali rafa, fi mahali nasb. Yeah, because it is mabni. Okay, here's just an example here. Yeah, la tal'abanna. This, if we didn't have the nun, we didn't have the nun here. Yes, it would have been la ta'albanu. Sorry, la tal'ab. Yeah, la tal'abu. Yeah, la tal'abu. But once we attach the nun tawkid, that u becomes a ah. It's one of those rules that we remember, yeah? And so that's why it's always ala fat. Yes, that's why it's always ala fat. In this case, because it's nun niswa, it's always ala sukun. Yeah? But for taukid, it's al fat. So whatever ending here will become fathah. Okay, how do you write Irab? This is what we will say. Fi'il mudari'un mabniun ala fath. It becomes mabni now, no marfu majzum. Yeah. Litisalihi, why? Because it's attached to nun taukid, saqila. Saqila because there's shadda. Yeah. And this nun, we have to describe it. Is nun is just a half. It has no place in Irab. Yeah. And the fa'il of the fi'il is mustatirun jawazan. Yeah. Takdiruhu huwa. Yeah. Because like I said, if we drop this nun shadda, it will just be your normal yal'abu. Yeah, yal'abu. La nahiyah tajzum becomes, if you want to make it majzum, this is what the la is for. Yeah, la tal'abanna. This would have been la tal'ab because this is would have been a sukun. But once you attach the nun sakilah to it, it takes on a fathah. Yes, it takes on a fathah. So here we describe fi'il mudhari' mabniun ala fath fi mahali jazm bila nahiyah litisali binun aw tawkid as-sakila. Okay, and the nun itself is just a half. It has no place in Irab, la mahali laha min al-i'rab, and the fa'il is mustatirun wujuban takdirun anta because of the ta. Question? Any question? I know this is heavy going, but it's all there. If you need to refer to it, you come back to the slides and you see the notes, yeah? Or as we do Surah Yasin, we'll see more and more of this, inshallah. Yes, Sister Nazma, any questions? Okay. This is Amar. I'll keep it simple, yeah? Fi'l Amar. Unsur. We drop the nuns. This one stays because this is fa'il, yeah? This also we drop the nun, yeah, because these are your af'al hamsa. But of course, Amar, we're only talking to the second person. We cannot command someone who is not there. Yeah, we cannot command who's not there. It must be someone you're talking to. You can't be commanding yourself either. Yeah. So the Irab here is mabni ala as-sukun. Yeah, sukun. And sukun for this. Sukun, the fa'il. This one, it's mabni ala hasf nun. Yeah, it's been dropped. Yeah, also is hasfun nun because it's been dropped. Yeah. Same here. All the af'ala hamsa will be dropping of the nun. And then the other two is sukun and sukun. Okay. Special cases again, of course, with your weak letters. Here you have dropped the weak letter, the alif. And I just show one because it's the same for ya and wow as well. And here it becomes fat. Yeah, no longer dropping of the nun. Yeah, it has become fat. There's no sukun above the ya, because we saw just now when we drop it, we have a sukun above the ya, right? But now, because of the nun niswa, it carries that fatha. It carries that fatha everywhere it goes. Yeah, regardless of whether this is a shadda or a single one. Yeah, all right. Okay, The last one, which we will do tonight, is the majhul, passive fi'ils. A bit different because we don't have a fa'il. We have what we call na'ibul fa'il. Yeah, we call na'ibul fa'il. Okay. If you notice in the Irab, now majhul, yeah, majhul here basically means the doer is not named. Jahil. Jahil is when you're ignorant, right? So majhul here, something that is made not named. Yeah, it's not known. The doer is either somebody you don't know, or you do know, it's implied, but it's not mentioned. Yeah, it's not mentioned. Now, the form of Madi, for the Madi, remember we have UI when we make it majhul. I think we remember this in Saf, right? UI for the majhul. So this is basically what it's saying, but with more words. Okay, it says that the first of its letter has dhamma. This is something we call madmum. The words there, yeah. Dot and mim is there. Madmum. And the letter before the ending. Yeah, that means if you have the ending, the last letter, the letter before that letter has to have kasra. Yes, it's ma'sur, has to have kasra. So that's why we have the u-i. Yeah, u-i. Yeah, when we have the majhul. So for example here, this is Martin, ulima. Yeah, the normal would have been alima. But now it becomes ulima. Ulima an zaidan najihun. Okay, an zaidan najihun. Fi'il Madi mabniun ala fath. Yes, we know this. But we're looking for the fa'il. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with this structure. Okay, we have an, half masdari, wa nasab, wa tawkid. Okay, this is the only half that is masdari, yeah, and it acts on an isim. This half acts on an isim, but it makes what follows it to become a masdar. Have you done this before? Where are you now in your dream program? Have you heard of the word masdari?
Yes.
Good. But this one works with isims, yeah? So Zaidan is your isim Anna, actually. I will correct this. Mansub bil fattah zahira. And najihun is your haba. Anna, marfu bil dhamma zahira. Yeah? So your masdar mu'awwal, yeah, your masdar mu'awwal is actually an plus Zaidan and Najihun. Yeah, Zaidan plus Najihun. So ma'mulaiha, ma'mul is the thing that the amil acts on. Yeah, that means you have an amil, which is the an, and the an acts on Zaidun to become Zaidan. Najihun, it becomes haba. Yeah. And there are two. It acts on both. It actually influences both. And this is actually originally ma'mulaini, the two ma'muls. Yeah. But because it's idafa, it's made light, and the nun is dropped and becomes ma'mulaiha. Yeah. It's two ma'muls, basically. Yeah, it's two ma'muls. Fi mahali raf'in naibul fa'ili. Yeah? So this whole thing becomes a naibul fa'il. Now let me show you. Yeah. So here is ulima najihu zaidin. Ulima najihu zaidin. Najihu pula. Najahu zaidin. Yeah. So, oops, sorry. It was known that Zaid was successful, but if you replace this combination with the Mazda Mu'awwal, with the Mazda in its place, then it is becomes, when you translate it, Zaid's success, because this is idafa, Zaid's success is known. Zaid's success is known. In this case, it was known because it is majhul, right? It was known that Zaid was successful. So in this case, when you replace it with Masdar Mu'awwal, it becomes Zaid's success was known. Both are jumlah ismiyah, both are jumlah ismiyah.
Sister Zuraida.
Yes, Sister Ali.
So Ulima and Zaidan Naji'un is jumlah fi'liyah, right?
This is jumlah ismiyah. This part is jumlah fi'liyah, but this part is jumlah ismiyah.
So and Zaidan, isn't it fa'il for the Ulima?
Na'ibu fa'il, yes, ulima.
Yes, but why it became jumlah ismiyah here?
Why is it jumlah ismiyah here? I've actually put the wrong sign here. This should be anna. I think that's why it's confusing. You know, half of nas anna?
Yeah.
It acts on originally this would have been Zaidun Najihun. Sorry. Zaid is successful. Zaid is successful. And then came anna to emphasize. This is a mistake. It should be anna. When anna comes in, the mubtada becomes isim anna, mansub, and the khabar becomes khabar anna. This is a mistake. I repeat again. Originally, forget about the ulima and an. It was Zaidun Najihun. So Zaid is successful. This is Masdar. But when Anna came in to emphasize that Zaid is indeed successful, right? Then it is it's still a jumla ismiyah, I think, and it's still a jumla ismiyah. But you use this whole thing. Excuse me. This whole thing now is actually the na'ibu fa'il ulima, because the action is knowing something. Ulima is the action of knowing something. So you're saying that it was known, because this is majhul. Who knows it? We don't know. Okay, you just say it was known that Zaid was successful. Or we can also say, in this case, this is your naibul fa'il, right? The success of Zaid is known. Or is well known. Something like that. Is that all right?
Still confusing.
Confusing.
Because what I learned when there is fi'il, then the sentence would be in mansub status, like an Zaidan Najihan, so it became the maf'ul for the fi'il.
Say that again, Sister Radin. Here in this case, yes.
Okay. Would it be like Najihan as maf'ul for the fi'il here?
Najihun. Najihun is maf'ul for the fi'il here.
Could it be like that? I'm not sure with this sentence. Never mind. We can talk it in chat later.
Maybe. Okay. Let me see. Okay, never mind.
So
we go
the
to the
structure will be
yes.
Like Zaidan is the mubtada and Najihun is khabar.
Yes, originally, before we used it in this sentence, there's two sentences here. One that is jumlah fi'liyah, outside, and then there's a sentence here that is jumlah ismiyah.
Okay.
So the action is knowing. The action is knowing something. All right. The action is knowing something. But the fa'il to this action, the thing that is being known, your na'ibul fa'il is the thing that is being known. Okay. Is that Zaid is successful. Because
The whole
fa'il
thing
doesn't have
is
to be a
na'ibul
person.
fa'il.
Pardon? Sorry.
And Zaidan Najihun is the whole thing is na'ibul fa'il.
Yes, the whole thing is na'ibul fa'il. And you can replace this. This is what we mean by masdari. This half has made itself and what follows it into this one.
Oh, so
Yeah.
the Naibul Fa'il, the breakdown would be and Zaidan and then Dinajihun.
The naibul hafil is naibul fa'il is
So
this
it's
one.
breaking down inside the Naibul Fa'il. Is it like that?
It's breaking down inside the naibul fa'il.
And Zaidan is an of Mastari and Zaidan is an, and then Najihun is Khabar.
Of
In the
an,
parentheses, all of
ana.
these are the Naibul Fa'il.
Yes, this whole thing is naibul fa'il. Yeah,
Okay.
this is naibul fa'il. So what is being known? Zaid's success, basically. Yeah, but it's being known. Okay. Sister Nazma, you're very quiet today. Maybe you're having issues, but yeah. We'll see this again and again. I will correct this mistake. Yeah, should be anna. Yeah, not. This is half of nas. This is the only one. Yeah, the other one is easier to understand. Is because the other why I put here because I was thinking of the half of nasab that acts on your. I see your mic is not working. The that acts on the fi'il mudari. There's a fi'il. There is a half that makes the fi'il mudari mansub, light. Yeah. So I was thinking of that an, but they were not talking about that. They were talking about isims here all the way. So this should be anna. Yeah, anna. Anna is the one that makes all of this. So that was the mistake there. So it should be anna. This is when your textbook doesn't have harakat. You're not thinking properly. You think that it's this, but actually it's not. It's actually anna. Yeah, it is half of nas that acts on isims. The other this yeah, the one with the sukun, acts on mudari, and that plus the fi'il will become masdar mu'awwal. Yeah, masdar mu'awwal as well, but in the form of a verb. In this one, it's an isim. This one from a verb. This one is from an isim. That's the difference. But I'll just confuse you more. Just understand that this whole thing is now the na'ibul fa'il to ulima. Because remember, a fa'il or a na'ibul fa'il doesn't have to be something that is a person. Yeah? It can be something. So in this case, it's Zaid's success that is known. That's the one that is being acted upon. What is it being? Because this is majhul, remember? We're not saying that Zaid is being successful. It becomes an action. This is naibul fa'il. What is being known? Yeah, his success. Okay, let's see this one. Maybe this up. The other thing I want to highlight here is when we do this. Yeah. Here we look at this. Oh, sorry. Oh, nope. Sorry. Last one. This is also correct. Let me go back here. I'll correct these slides for you. It doesn't say the file. Madi mabni al-fat. It should be here because when we say fi'il madi mabniyun, yeah, so it should be fi'il madi mabniyun lil majhul. And then mabni ala al-fat. Yeah, this one I have to correct. I made a mistake here. Fi'il madin, yeah, mabniyun lil majhul, if you can imagine, yeah, 2 times. The mabni is mentioned 2 times. Let me correct it. I think better correct it. You'll get confused. Let me come out of the slide for a while. I'll just bear with me another 4 minutes and then we'll end the class. I'll just correct this. The word mabni first applies to fi'il mudari mabniyun majhul. Yeah. What it means there, it doesn't mean that it's not mu'rab. When you say mabni, it doesn't mean that it is not mu'rab. Yeah. What it means is that it is in the form of a passive mudari, passive present tense. So I would say marfu, and then the other one is fi'l madi mabni, fi'l majhul, mabniyun. Okay. So here I left this out. Should be fi'lun madin mabniyun lil majhul mabni ala al-fath. Twice. This one is just to say that the past tense is in passive form. Yeah, passive form. Mabni here means form. Past tense, passive. And then you describe it as mabniyun ala al-fath. This one is the opposite of mu'rab. Okay, this is the opposite of mu'rab. Then everything else is extra. Then you went on to explain what is the naibul fa'il. Yeah, what is the naibul fa'il, which is this thing, which become the masdar. Najahu Zaidin, yeah, success of Zaid. Then for this one, same thing. This is a normal fi'il. This is not passive. Although it is u here, but it's e, it's not a. Remember, the form for a mudari that is passive, it is u, a, not e. So this is normal. This is you probably because it belongs to family 2 or family 3 or family 4, probably family 4. Yeah. Oh no, this is the normal. Okay. Here we have say again fi'il mudari mabniyun in the form of majhul. Yeah, present tense in the form of passive. Then marfu, because in this case it's not mabni, it is marfu. It has a dhamma sign at the end. Yut'amu, yeah, yut'amu. And wa anabil fa'il dhamma mustatafi jawazan huwa. Yeah, so this is the difference between writing the normal fi'il mudari and the mabni majhul mudari. Okay. Any questions? Sister Radin?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no question.
No questions. I know. Let's do this. Okay, let's do more of this. Then inshallah it will become clearer. I know it's quite heavy going. Yeah. So this is just to say fi'il mudari mabniyun lil majhul, present tense, passive past tense, passive present tense form. Okay? Passive present tense form. And then we describe it as marfu. Whereas the other one just now with the madi is where it gets confusing because you also have mabni for your fi'il madin, right? So this one is just saying that it is in past tense passive form. Yeah, it's just the word form. Whereas this mabniun is the actual irab. That means it's not mu'rab, it's mabni. Ala al-fath. Just remember that, yeah? You have to have this mabniun lil majhul for both fi'il madi and fi'il mudari. when you're doing passive form of the tense. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. And it was difficult for me to convey that. I think it's even more difficult for you to understand. So, but we'll do more exercises and then inshallah. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen. So, subhanallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. So take care. Good night. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Take care.
Amin. Amin.